What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Wangari. I'm a rising sophomore at the Harvard College, and welcome to the complete college application guide for international students, where I share with you guys the tips, tricks, strategies. Where I share with you guys the tips, tricks, strategies, and information on how to successfully complete the college application process, specifically to the US. Let's go. Today's video, we're talking about early decision, early action, restrictive early action, single choice early action, regular decision, rolling admissions, all those words. What do they mean? So let's start with early decision, ED. What is ED? Early decision has early deadlines. Like, it says early because of the deadlines. So its deadlines are usually from November 1st to November 15th. And you get your admission decision in early December. So usually decisions come out in March. But for ED and EA, as you'll see later on, the decisions come out in December. So you kind of have like an advantage because the decisions come out much earlier. For ED, you can only apply to one private school early decision. A lot of schools are very strict about this, and if you apply to other schools early, you can get like cancelled. I don't know what it is. They like reject your application and you're like not allowed to apply there, even regular decision. So if you choose to apply ED, you have to make a commitment to that one school. So this ties into the question, which school should you choose to apply to ED? Most people apply to their target school, like to their best option school, the one that they really want to go to. They apply their ED because applying early shows some commitment to that school. It's kind of like a good faith deposit where it's like, okay, I like your school. I think I'm a good fit for your school, and so I think I should apply there early. And typically that's why you find that ED have higher admissions rates, because the applicants are usually really strong because it's their target school. ED is binding, so be very careful about this. ED is binding, and that means that you have to sign a contract saying that if you get into that school, you will go to that school. Yeah, and that's what makes ED, because you are bound literally to that one school. And the issue with that binding contract is financial aid, in that if I applied ED to Colombia and Colombia only gives me 80% financial aid, I have to find a way to get out of that contract because I simply cannot afford to pay that 20%. And also, ED has limiting options for internationals when you apply early. So for example, there are some schools that if you apply early decision, you do not qualify for financial aid, and that's a disadvantage for like first generation lower income international students especially. And this is actually a quote I got from the College Board website. It says, ED plans have come under fire as unfair to students from families with low incomes, since they do not have the opportunity to compare financial aid offers. This may give an unfair advantage to applicants from families who have more financial resources. So this is a huge disadvantage for ED, is that some schools don't give you financial aid if you apply ED, and you have to be really careful about that. Another thing about ED that you need to keep in mind is that if you want to do the SAT and apply ED, because the deadlines are in November, you have to take the SAT latest by October. So keep that in mind. If you're planning to apply ED in November this year, make sure you've done your SAT by October. So now let's compare with its partner early action. EA deadlines are the same as ED, November 1st to November 15th. The main difference between ED and EA is that EA, you are not bound. There is no contract you have to sign. So for ED, you sign a contract. In fact, I think it's your parents who like sign the contract. It's you and your parents who sign the contract. EA, there's no contract. If you get in, you're not bound to go to that school. You can get in and not go. Like I applied Princeton early action and I got in and I simply decided not to go. Similar to early decision, you receive the admissions decision in mid-December. So you find out earlier than everyone else, mid-December to January typically. With EA, it's a bit tricky because there are like subsections of EA. There are like subtypes of EA. Not all schools have the same rules for early action. So there's what is called restrictive early action or single choice early action. So SCEA or REA. Any tongue twister. I'm Kikuyu. Jesus Christ. Okay, so yes, single choice early action or restrictive early action. And so what makes them special, REA and SCEA, is that you can only apply to one private school. Okay, so if I want to apply to Harvard Early Action, Harvard has restrictive early action. I will not be able to also apply to Yale Early Action. I can't apply to any other private school early action. However, I can apply to other public schools early action. So I can apply to University of Wisconsin-Madison. I can apply to University of Texas. I can apply to UCLA. I can apply to UWA and UVA and all the U something A's, okay? But this does not apply to all schools. Please, if you're going to do early action, make sure you read all the rules that school has for early action, because some schools will allow you to apply to public schools but not to private schools. And if it's a public school, maybe they'll only allow you to apply to a public school, and then you can't apply to a private school because of some other rule they have. So please read the fine print for EA and don't be caught in a situation where you've applied to two schools EA and they're both REA, and now you're in trouble and you won't get into both of them because you'll be rejected from both of them. So deadlines for REA and SCEA are the same as normal EA. Those are a lot of acronyms. Whoo, Chile. The deadlines November 1st to November 15th. Typically, decisions come out in mid-December to January. If you want to take the SAT, you also have to take the SAT by May. No, you have to take the SAT by November. Why am I lying? What's going on? You have to take the SAT by October. I'm so sorry for the mix-up. I can't speak. Yes, so if you want to do whatever early action form, you have to do the SAT by October, and then you have all the time to decide whether or not you want to do that school, whether or not you want to go to that school till May. Now let's talk about regular decision, RD. This is the most common plan that people use when applying. So RD is just regular. You apply thousands and thousands of people to thousands and thousands of schools. You have no limit. If you want to apply to 20 schools, go ahead, auntie. Okay, if you want to apply to 5 schools, do you boo. Okay, regular decision is a free-for-all buffet. You take as much as you want, you take as little as you want. You put in as much effort as you want, you put in as little effort if you want. RD is where people are like, I mean, let me just apply to that school. Why not? I mean, why not? Like, why not, you know? That was me and Caltech. I was like, I mean, I have nothing to lose, so let me just apply to this school and let's see how it goes. So RD, you can have as much fun as you want with your schools. Please don't have too much fun. Have some fun, but not too much fun. Let's be serious, okay? And the deadlines are typically January 1st, 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. So if you're in Kenya, yeah, in Kenya right now, yeah, like as I'm speaking to you right now in July, the time difference between Kenya and the US is 7 hours. So EAT and EST is 7 hours. So once it becomes daylight saving, oh wait, it's currently daylight savings, yeah, so it's 7 hours. Cool. Once we're out of daylight savings, yeah, it becomes 8 hours. So the deadline is technically January 2nd, 7 a.m. Kenyan time, but it's January 1st, 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. Do your time zone conversions. Just to be safe, send in your documents and everything by December 31st. You'll be fine. And then for RD, you get your decisions back typically in March. So March is the time when almost all the decisions come in. And yeah, so that's everything about RD. Those are the main differences between RD, ED, EA, SCA, REA. And then the last option that a few schools have is called rolling admissions. And so rolling admissions, it comes from the name, like a stone rolling down the hill, is where they accept people on multiple cycles. You submit your application anytime throughout the year. And so I don't have much experience with rolling admissions schools, but I'll of course put a bunch of links in the description box that you can read. I forgot to do this for each step. The list of schools that have ED, EA, RD rolling admissions varies. So please, if you're planning to apply to a school, check which admission plan they use, I guess. And so I'll put on screen the various schools that have EA now. These are the schools that have single choice or restrictive early action. These are the schools that have early decision. And finally, these are the schools that have rolling admissions. I'm not going to put in a list of schools that have regular decision, because literally all schools have regular decision, like all of them. At least I think so. So yeah, as always, there are going to be information and links in the description. Check the description for more links to find out more information. Common questions that come up when I'm talking to people about ED, EA, and RD is, does applying ED/EA increase your chances of getting in? So there's this, like, it's a myth, it's a rumor, it's a statement, it's a fact, that if you apply to a school ED or EA, you have a higher chance of getting in. And so my answer is usually yes and no. So from my research, yeah, the reason why most schools have higher admission rates in early decision and early action is because the people who are applying there, because they know they only have one school, you put your best foot forward and you apply to your favorite or your dream school. So for example, which school did I apply early? Princeton. Okay, so for example, let's say Princeton was my dream school, yeah, and I love it and I've been dreaming of going to Princeton for a really long time. I will work to perfect my application as much as possible, and I'll submit my application to Princeton, and my application will be the best it will ever be, because it's my dream school and I want it to be as good as possible. And everyone else is doing the same thing. You're not the only one. So everyone else is applying to their dream school and putting their best foot forward. So what they're getting is an applicant pool that's really strong, and so they're more likely to accept people from that applicant pool. People in this applicant pool have the highest ACT scores, the highest ACT scores, they have the best extracurriculars, they have the best essays and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to deter you, I'm just trying to be honest, because it just doesn't mean that because you apply ED or EA you'll get in. If your profile is not strong enough and if your profile is not competitive enough to compete with everyone else's really strong profiles, you are actually at a lower chance of getting in. But if your profile is really strong and this is a school you've really wanted to go into, is that correct English? Wanted to went to, whatever, you want to go to this school, yeah, then apply ED or EA. This is something I got from the College Board website, and it says higher admission rates for ED applicants may correlate to stronger profiles among candidates choosing ED. Yeah, so yes, you have a slight advantage if your profile and your application is really competitive for that school, because everyone else's profile is really strong and really competitive, and it's also a sign of good faith. So I said it earlier, because you can only choose one school and you choose that school, it's a sign of good faith where you're like, hi, I really like your school, accept me please. Okay, next question that I get a lot is, should I apply early? Should you apply to ED or EA? I think yes and no. Again, if you're ready, yeah, if you're ready to do ED or EA, go ahead. If you think your profile is strong and competitive enough, go ahead. And if you're applying to a school that you really like and really want to go to, then yes, yeah. If not, if you're not ready, if by October 31st you're still running around to get documents and write essays, don't do it. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your energy. You'll just be deferred or you'll be rejected when you could have applied RD with a more polished application and maybe gotten in. So again, from the College Board website, they say this, that applying ED or EA is most appropriate for a student who, number one, has researched college extensively, is absolutely sure that that college is their first choice, has found a college that is a strong match academically, socially, and geographically, meets or exceeds the admission profile for the college SAT scores, GPA, and class rank, has an academic record that has been consistently solid over time. Yeah, so how you know you're a match with the school is if your SAT scores, your GPA, your rank, and your like profile is in the median or the average. Is it median? No, the average scores for that school. So for example, if you're applying to a school where the average SAT score is 1410 and you have 1450, go ahead. You're in a good place for that school. But if you're applying to a school where the average score is 1490 and you have 1320, then maybe, I mean, you can still shoot your shot, and I'm all for shooting your shot, but maybe think twice before you do it. So College Board continues to say the ED or EA plan is not appropriate for a student who has not thoroughly researched colleges, is applying early just to avoid stress, is not fully committed to attending that college, is applying early only because of friends. Who applies because of friends? Are you crazy? You're going to base the next 4 years of your life on other people? Don't be rude. Don't do it. If you for what? Ladies and gentlemen, friendships, they come and go. And I'm not trying to be mean, okay? I'm not trying to be mean. But fact of the matter is, friendships and relationships come and go. Please, if your boyfriend goes to some school, don't apply to that school just because of him. Like, you can apply because you like it, and it would be a bonus that he's also there. But don't blindly follow people into schools, and then you get there and you break up, or it's not what you expected, and then you hate the school. Maisha ni yako, baby girl, baby boy. Your life is yours and only yours. Don't follow people into college. Like, what? Bruh, people will do this. Don't be rude. I went on a tangent there. Cool. Back to what I was saying. Needs a stronger senior fall semester to bring grades up. Does this apply to Kenyan students and African students? Okay, if you've already graduated, this doesn't apply to you. But if you're still in high school, by the time it reaches November, no, it doesn't apply to you. I mean, does it? You get your final transcript. Yeah. I mean, it applies to you if you're still in high school, because if you apply early decision while you're still in high school, you won't have your final exam results yet. And they'll give you time to submit them in March. But so if your transcript is a bit shaky and you hope to do better in your final exams, then yes, applying early might not be the best thing, because you can apply regular and then you'll have a stronger like final exam results to back you up. So what are the advantages of applying early? Number one, it's less work if you get in. My good friend Martha applied to only one school. Sis shot her shot at Columbia and she got in, and I was like, wow, is that witchcraft? Why am I talking like I didn't get in early? It's me who gave myself more work. Anyway, don't be like me. Don't be rude, okay? Yeah, you can, if you apply early and you get in, you don't have to apply to more schools. Save your money because you won't pay for application costs. Yes, application costs are expensive. How many times do I need to say it on this channel? Get an application fee waiver, save your money, and go and buy a konyagi. Okay? Last advantage of applying early is it's less stressful, because regular decision is so stressful. You're applying to 10-15 schools. Early, you're only applying to one, so of course it's less stress. What are the disadvantages of applying early? Because there must be some disadvantages. We're looking at pros and cons here, okay guys? We're using analysis, statistical methods of inference to make decisions on this channel, okay? Because we are level-headed, rational human beings. Cool. So disadvantages of applying early. Number one, the pressure to choose a dream school or a single school to apply to. I definitely felt this. I didn't have a dream school, and up to today, I really wonder if like MIT was my dream school, or if I just like felt the hype of MIT. Harvard was not my dream school, I can be sure about that. I applied to Princeton because of Michelle Obama, and I was like, I mean, if it's good enough for Michelle Obama, it's good enough for me. So I definitely felt that pressure. Don't feel the pressure to choose a dream school, and you don't have to apply early. It's not that serious. I mean, it's serious, but not that serious. Second thing is, some schools don't give financial aid yet, especially internationals. Please, before you apply to a school early, check if you qualify for financial aid, because sometimes they don't give financial aid to people who get in early. Next is, if you get rejected, you only have 2 weeks to do regular decision, okay? Please listen, fungua masikio, open your ears and listen to me, okay? Even if you do early action, yeah, or early decision, please continue working on your regular decision essays. I don't want to hear it. Don't talk to me. Okay, don't tell me, oh, I'll get in, oh, this is my dream. Me, people who are cocky. No, let me ask you a question, yeah? Because sometimes people are in my DMs and they're like, I got rejected from this school, you know, I was so sure I'd get in. And I'm like, what do you mean you are sure you'll get in? Who are you that you're sure you'll get in? Like, please, your ego, mlango, your ego, you can leave it at the door. Please, there is no guarantee that you'll get into any of these schools. I don't care how strong your profile is, unless you are like, unless you're like, like Bill Gates level, like you coded the first computer, created the first system, unless you've like built a rocket with Elon Musk, unless you like you play cello with Yo-Yo Ma, like bro, unless you're like a prodigy in some field, there is absolutely no guarantee that you'll get in. Or unless you have daddy's money. I mean, if you have daddy's money, that's a different topic, okay? If your daddy can donate 100 million to Harvard and build a library, sure, you'll get in, okay? You'll get in. But the rest of us, common mwananchi, egos at the door. Okay, let's go back. Yeah, so please work on your essays. I don't care if you're doing early action or early decision. Work on your essays just in case. You never know what's going to happen. You might get accepted, which congratulations, you can stop. You might get rejected, which you'll now have to use your essays. You might get deferred, which you will now have to use your essays. Don't leave your essays for the last 2 weeks of December after your heart is crushed by your dream school. That was a bit morbid, but it's true. Final thing to note, yeah? This is something I didn't know until I had already submitted things, and I was like, oh shit, I can't change it. Once you submit your letters of recommendation in early action and early decision, they cannot be changed. Those are the same letters that will be submitted regular decision. Like your teacher can't change anything. And I wanted to change something. Like I think I had a recommendation from my history teacher and I wanted to switch it to my English teacher or something like that. Because I had math, physics, and English or history. I think I had history, yeah? And I wanted it to be English for RD. And I couldn't change it. Like, they cannot change it. And I was like, holy crap. Yeah, I didn't know this. So the letters of recommendation you submit in ED or EA, you can't change them. Your teachers can't change them. Like, that's it. Once I submitted, that's it. Because what Common App does is it has that one letter and it just sends them to all the schools. Yeah, it just sends copies to all the schools. So you can't change it from EA to ED. You can change your Common App, calm down. You can change your Common App. You can change your essays, okay? The Common App you submitted EA, you can still make changes to it. You can still polish things. You can still rearrange things around. You can still edit it some more, but you can't edit your teacher recommendations, and your teachers can't edit their recommendation and their evaluations of you, because your teachers will have to evaluate you. They do an evaluation, like rate this student on a scale of 1 to 5 in terms of creativity, in terms of listening, stuff like that. Their evaluation and their recommendations cannot be changed. So if you're going to do ED or EA, make sure your recommendations are really good and make sure teachers do a good job the first time, because hey, nimekuwa nikiongea for 1 hour, okay, because they can't change them once it's submitted. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very long video and I hope you have learned a lot. I hope you are able to understand the difference between ED, EA, REA, SCEA, RD, and rolling admissions. So I've been filming videos for the past 2 hours, so I can barely speak. Thank you so much for watching to this point. If you have not yet subscribed, why? For what? Have I not given you information? Have I not given you resources, tips, tricks? Am I not gorgeous today? Like, I look beautiful. Like, the lighting is gone and I'm so sorry. The sun has literally set. But I mean, you know I look nice. Yani nimewavalia hii vitu yote. Subscribe. Okay? You get an internet cookie and it's free. And it helps me a lot because it motivates me to keep making videos for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys in my next video. Okay, thanks. Bye.